What's going on, guys? Welcome back to part whatever this is. Is it like 12? I'm not sure, but today we're going to go over arrays. Sorry, just drinking some coffee here. That's what keeps me going in life. So an array, this has a pretty good definition. An array is a series of elements of the same type placed in memory locations that can be individually referenced by adding an index to a unique identifier. That sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, I'm sure. But really it's a lot easier than it sounds. So think of an array as a storage device of data, right? So right here they have integers. They named it foo, which is a stupid name. And this is kind of how you declare it. And they have 5 spots. When they declared it, they made it 5. So this is a good representation of this. There's 5 different spots for integers. So one integer will go here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And if they made this 6, obviously it would go from 0 to 5. So that's another thing I want to touch on, is an array, the indices go from 0 to n minus 1, n being the value you put in here. So it doesn't go from 1 to 5 in this case, it goes from 0 to 4, so that's something you also have to keep in mind. Maybe it would be easier if I just made an example other than talking about it, because this is probably pretty confusing. So we look at this is how you declare it. So first we put the type. So I'm going to put int. And those are the types of data that I'm going to be, excuse me, that I'm going to be storing. So they're all going to be ints. You can't go one being an int, one being a double, one being a character value. No, they all have to be the same. So we're going to have int, and we're going to name it score. And let's have 5 different slots, if you will. So this is going to hold the scores of tests. So once again, how you declare it, the type, whatever name you want to give it, so I gave it score, and then square brackets, and the number inside the square brackets when you declare it is how many spots are going to be in this array, the size of the array. So to access each spot, we do this. So we bring the name again, so the name of it is score, and then at indices 0, I'm going to assign the value 95. So they got 95 on this test, the first indice. I actually made a little paint object here as best as I could with my trackpad. So this is the score array. And then the first indice, which is 0, this is actually 95. This is from earlier. I actually made this video earlier, but realized my mic that I was using was complete trash. Hopefully this one's better. This is a Rock Band mic. I am not at my apartment, so I don't have my headset, so I'm using what I can. Nonetheless, indice 0 has the value stored 95. This is 95. So that's what we just did. So let's assign scores to the other spots. So score of the next index would be 90. Let's give it 90. Score, not 3. 2 is equal to 55. Not so hot. 3 is not equal to 40. Also not too hot. Score of the last one, which would be 4, is equal to 100. 1,100. Oh my god. There we go. So the way it would look like now, if we drew this out, which I'm not going to because I can't really draw on my trackpad. This one would be 90 at index 1. At index 2, see what I mean? This would be 55. At index 3, this value right here would be 40. In the last index, index 4, it would be 100. So pretty much just think of it as a way to store data. So if we want to read out, we want to say, oh, what's in the first indice? this is what we have to do. We write score and in square brackets indices 0 end line. Of course, we don't have to put the end line. I just do by nature. So we're going to build this, and we're going to see that it's going to print out the value that we assigned to score 0. There we go, 95. Now, a good way to read out, all of the array is something we learned earlier, which is a for loop. So we can do for. Oh my God, I can't type today. I equals 0. I is less than 5, right? Because there's 5. That's the size. So it's going to go from 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, but it's not going to go to 5 because it's got to be less than 5. See what I did there? I plus plus. Oops. There's some great curly bracket placement. Put it right here. What we can do is see out score, and in square brackets we put I. Now why did I do that? Well, I, as we remember, we set equal to 0, and then each time it goes through a loop, it's going to bump up one more. So the first one, it's going to read out score of indice 0, because that's the first one, and it's going to bump it up. And it's going to say, okay, we're going to read out score indice 1, and it's going to keep doing this until we reach, 4, which is less than 5. So we go ahead and build this and run it. We're going to see it does just that. It reads out everything in the array. So that's what you can use for loops for, and that's really useful actually, because you don't have to individually put, see out score 0, then another line, see out score 1, and then another line, see out score 2. You can do it with one statement, and it'll just go through them all. Now, another thing you can do actually is just change the value. So let's say we put the wrong score in. The student came back, said, hey, you gave me the wrong score for the first index. I actually got 100. We'll say, okay, we'll fix that. So we can actually change it later on, and I'll see out it so you can see. There we go. We'll see that it actually changed to 100 after that statement here. So we'll see at first, yeah, it was 95 because that's what we set it at, but after we set it to 100, it changed it to read out 100. That's the second 100 here. Okay? So we'll probably touch upon arrays again in the next video. This is kind of just a basic rundown so you can see them. Of course, I should mention you can have other types. So we could have doubles if the scores are fractions or like that. So we could have 95.3, 90.4, 90 or 55.6, what have you. And we can see now they are doubles, indeed. These are doubles too, we just didn't give them a fraction value. So anyway, just a quick look at arrays. If you would, I would recommend you making your own array. You can name it whatever you want, whatever size you want. Give each indice values, and use a for loop to print all of those values out that you gave it. Kind of get used to using those, how they work. For loops are, like I said, very useful for going through an array. But yeah, I think the next exercise on that list that we've been doing has arrays. That was like one of the requirements for completing that exercise. So now we can probably do it. We might do that next video. I might continue on, make it like a part 2 of arrays if there's something that I might have forgot. But essentially, yeah, this is an array. If you want to reference this, I'll link it actually in the description so you can take a closer look at it. They have an implementation here. Where at? Yeah. So right here. You can go ahead and look at that. But yeah, arrays, they're pretty simple. Just how you write them out is a little different than what we've been seeing. So yeah, give it a go. See if you understand it. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.